Hey everyone, Dr. Ritza here, downtown Toronto chiropractor, acupuncture provider, and manual therapist. And what we're going to be working on right now is a glute bridge progression. So we've already gone over the glute bridge in my other video about my big three core exercises of the side bridge, the glute bridge, and the bird dog that I give to almost all my patients with either a hip condition or with low back or mid back pain. So with the glute bridge progression, this is going to escalate it a little bit in terms of increasing that core strength and also building it into a core and glute exercise at the same time with some balance challenges thrown in there as well. So there's going to be 3 progressions where we're going to go from our regular glute bridge to working on a glute bridge with a unilateral stance on one foot with support from the arms, and then that same unilateral glute bridge with no support from the arms, and then also progressing it to one with some hip flexion, which is going to challenge both the hip flexors and the glutes at the same time. So for this exercise, what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our good glute bridge position that we've already worked on with our resistance band around the thighs, just above the level of the knees. So we're going to go up into our glute bridge, pulling on the front of the belt just to emphasize that little hip thrust that we're going to do with the glutes tight, the core is tight, the spine is in a neutral position, and the arms are staying outward against the resistance of the TheraBand. So our first progression that we're going to do after we've worked on holding our glute bridge is supporting the body with both arms and lifting and extending one leg out like so. So with this, what we're going to work on is maintaining that good leg alignment, keeping the resistance band out. Again, our glutes activated, our core is activated, and we can work on holding this initially for 8 to 10 seconds and then coming down and taking a break. You'll notice that with this first progression, that when I finish the maneuver, it's not just a collapse onto the one side, but we slowly bring that leg back in and slowly lower ourselves to the ground. Really tough at first, but after a little bit of mastering of the glute bridge, fantastic exercise. The next progression, what we're going to do is we're going to come up into our glute bridge, and with no support, just on the core, maintaining nice and tight throughout, is we can work on extending the leg out without any support. Same principles apply. Hold for 8 or 10 seconds with an 8 or 10 second break in between repetitions as part of our 5 or 6 rep set, and then you can bring it back down. The final progression for this exercise, which I think is fantastic and actually is quite a challenge, is coming up into our glute bridge, and we're going to add in a little bit of hip flexion. So we're going to come out into our extended position, and then going to work on bringing the hip up into flexion while maintaining that good glute and core activation, and then back out, back to our regular glute bridge, and down. Fantastic exercise to work on strengthening the glutes isometrically, or if you are a runner or rehabbing a patellofemoral pain syndrome knee, or an iliotibial band knee, or something else that's bothering you with respect to the knees or the hips, great exercise to increase that core strength.